everybody, it's your boy Hoods on the Flow Visuals channel, and today we have got a video for you. We're going to teach you how to make this pop up, and it's going to take you with 2 easy steps. 1 step taking in Photoshop, 1 step taking in After Effects. I'll even teach you how to render it out transparently using 2 different methods. Hope you enjoy. Let's go on with the video. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've got Photoshop opened, and this is basically all you're going to need. You're going to need 4 things. I've got everything grouped up here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate it and show you guys how to do it. So basically, first thing first, let's just get rid of all this. And basically, the first thing you want to do is press Ctrl R, and you'll get your rulers up on your screen. And basically, you want to get one in the middle, and basically one in the center. And you basically want to mark where you want your pop-up to be, the size of it. It's really simple. Just basically move the rulers to how big you want it. So if you look back, that's kind of how wide it's going to be. We want it a little bit shorter than that. Now guys, if you can't follow along with me, I don't do tutorials very often, so I'm not very good at like talking to the camera when doing a tutorial. But if you do have any questions, please be sure to join the Discord server, and you'll be able to find out more tutorials or ask any questions. I'm always active. If you need anything, just contact me. Right, so first thing first, what we want to do, let's get rid of this, don't need that. And basically get a new layer. Get a new layer, go to shape, and you want to get an ellipse tool. And basically, you want to hold shift and basically make a circle in the lines. Now if you do it from the line, so for example if you hover over the line, hold shift, it will make it, and it will kind of snap into place like so. And then basically you want to go back to your mouse cursor, press Ctrl J on that layer and drag it to the length that you want the pop-up to be. And then the next thing you want to do is you basically want to go down to a rectangle tool. Basically do the same again, so go from the line and the center. So if you want help in making sure this is more simpler for you, you could snap a ruler in the center of the circle and then use the rectangle tool and go from that point. That way it keeps the shape perfect, and then this like pink line should pop up to show. And then we have it. We have our pop-up, essentially, like the shape of our pop-up. Now obviously you may need to tweak it a little bit. For example, this rectangle needs to be lifted up a tiny bit. Now the next thing you want to do is basically you want to press shift click on all of the layers over here. You want to merge the shapes into one and then rasterize this layer. That way it's now one shape. Okay, it's not, when you go into the PSD you'll see loads of different you'll see like the 2 circles that'll pop up and the bar, and you don't want that. If you do it like this, it then removes it. And now all you want to do is click on it, go to blending options, you want to add a color overlay to it. Yeah, make it white. Now what you want to do is you basically want to press Ctrl J like you've done before, a lot higher, put it just a bit higher than that, and you want to change the colour of it to the same colour as Twitter, or the social that you're wanting to use, but in this case we're going to use Twitter. Okay, and the next thing, basically the same again. All you need to do is, I'm just going to grab mine from here, but you can find a PNG of a Twitter logo on Google, it's not hard, and then we basically just want to add it. Now if you add another ruler to snap in the middle of the blue one, now this is where you want to add your text. So whether you want to put your @ or you want to just put follow me or something like that, in this term we're just going to put follow me. The font is totally up to you. I'm using one called Akira Expanded, but there are others like, you know, actually I'll change it. I'll use like a Big Deal. That's a pretty good font. Basically, you just want to make sure this is snap bang in the middle. Okay, so now that we have everything that we need in the PSD form, basically what you're going to do now is you're basically going to save it. File, save as. Make sure you save it as a PSD. Call it Twitter pop-up tutorial. And then click save. All of these files are going to be of access to you in the description if you want to just, take this and recreate it yourself. But there also will be a chance where you can possibly just pay for it. Basically, I'll leave my Twitter link if you want to pay for it, and it will cost you £2, and you'll get it from within 30 minutes of me starting it. Probably even quicker. I'll probably whip up in 10 minutes for you. Okay guys, now we are in After Effects. Now this is where it becomes very, very easy, very, very simple. I'm going to show you a couple of effects, a couple of ways to position, scale, and all that stuff. First thing you want to do is basically you want to grab your Photoshop PSD and you want to drag it into the project part of your After Effects. Make sure it's on composition and retain layer styles, and then editable layer styles, and click OK. Double click the Twitter tutorial composition up top left, and here it is. Your PSD is now in After Effects. Basically, I'm going to make this tutorial, let's just say like 12 seconds long, okay? I'm going to trim it down to, drag this bar, trim it down here, push right click, trim comp to work area. That way, I've got everything, the time scale of everything I want to work on zoomed out, and it's easier for me to control. Now all you want to do is basically hide the top three. We ain't gonna need them yet. We're gonna do every single bit of this one by one. Okay, so the first one you're gonna do is basically get the white bar, sorry, press P, go to 1 second, well it might say 1 frame for you guys, and click the clock sign on the position bar, which is basically just setting your keyframe. So for example, the way if you've never worked in After Effects before, just to explain what keyframes are the point in time for when something starts or something ends. So for example, if I want it to start here and end here, and I stretched it, that's how it would be. For example, in this case, we want the scale to start at the position to be down here, and we want it to end here. This is kind of what this is kind of what we're going to be doing. So now I'm going to go all the way down, and basically I'm just going to lower under the scale. So for example, when it comes in, it will come in from here. Very simple, very easy. So the next thing we're going to be doing is easing the keyframe. Highlight both the key points, press F9. Basically you just want to highlight both of these keyframes, click this graph, and make sure you press F9 to ease, and then we are in here. Next thing you want to do is you want to right click on the position and separate dimensions, and that way we can control the flow of our positioning. For this one you want to take the green bar, hold shift and drag along the top to 30 frames. And on the bottom one, do the same, but backwards. So now, there's a very smooth animation, but as this comes in. Instead of coming in super still, super stiff, it's got a little bit of animation to it. The next part that we're going to be doing is the blue bar. Now, for the blue bar, it's going to be very simple and very easy. What I'm going to do is basically have it fill up. So as you can see in the pop-up down here, you can see that the bar fills up from the right-hand side. We'll go from 1.5 seconds here. We'll grab this bar, snap it, delete, press Ctrl Shift D to basically cut it, and then you can just click on the other one and delete it. Look in the effects for linear white down here for animation preset transition, and then you add it to this bar. When you press U on your keyboard, you will see that this has already basically set the animation, but it's coming in from the wrong side, and it just looks too boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top left where the effects board is, and we're basically just going to flip this all the way around so it comes in from the right, and then we're also going to angle it in like a slant so that when this comes in, it comes in like it's flowing. Very simple, very easy. Okay guys, so basically we're at the point now where I've added the linear white, and it's missing something, so we want to add a wave. All you have to do is type up wave in the effects preset, grab wave warp, add it to the layer, put your wave height to 1, your wave width to, I'm pretty sure I put it at 20, 29, 30, we'll do 30. And basically you want to change the direction so it goes down. Basically it just gives a little bit of a wave effect, nothing too major, but a little bit of a wave effect on the blue bar as it fills up. So just play it through, you can kind of see it, it's nothing too major. And have it come in like a wave and end here. Now what you need to do is do the same thing where you highlight the keyframes, press F9 and go into this. And basically you want to swap it up, do exactly the same as you did on the last one. Basically come down to the line, come down to the line. What we could do is actually make this a bit slower. So for example, it kind of, that's a bit too fast, and should we do it like this? Okay, so that works, yeah. So it comes in nice and smooth like that. Now we're on to the easy part, getting the logo involved. So as you can play it through, that's where we're at so far. Now the logo, super easy. Similar thing, we're going to be animating its position and its scale and stuff like that. Okay, so basically we've got the bar, it fills up. We're going to then come to the 3rd second and we're going to cut the clip. What did I just do? I'm going to come to the 3rd second and we're going to cut the clip. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is basically click the clock and drag this keyframe to the 3/4, so the 45th frame. Okay. And then we'll go back to the start and we're going to drag it out. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure drag our timeline navigator into the point where the logo. So we're going to press T to it. We're going to click the clock. I'm going to go back to the start of the clip and we're going to put the opacity down to 0. So it has a very seamlessly flow animation. So when it's coming through, you don't actually see it coming in from the side. But then again, it's doing it again where it's too sharp. It's not smooth enough, so now we need to go back onto the position, press F9. and repeat the same thing. Separate dimensions. Make the flow suit you. You can tweak with these bars to find the right flow for you, but I'm just basically showing you how to do it. So now the logo comes in on the left hand side, from the right onto the left hand side. Now what we need is the text, and the text is just as easy. So for example, we're going to come down to this point where the text is. We want the text to start coming in, probably say here, and basically you want to cut the clip, turn it on, and for this one I feel like we can go with something very just simple, and it's called it's basically going to have it flipping. So we're going to put the scale by pressing S, and we're going to put it to 0. Click the clock and go to our 5th second. Put the scale to 100. Basically, right now comes in like this. But it just looks too simple. So now we need to add some rotation. Click this little box here to make it 3D. So for example, mouse wants to rotate it in any direction. From the start, you want to click the X rotation clock, go to where the scale is at 100, and you basically just want to flip it once. Now when you press U, you can see all the work that you've done to it so far. Highlight the keyframes, press F9, and then you're back in this drive again. Sort out the flow, and then we have like a nice little bit of impact. It's basically saying, you look, we're down here, follow us, follow me, and then that's basically it. But now we don't want it to be stuck on the screen, so now we need to find a way to make it exit. Simplest way to do it is just to make it disappear. So I'm going to keep it nice and simple for you guys. Once it gets to the 10th second, now jump would say 10.5. We then want to pre-compose all of this. You then want to press T, opacity at 100, and then put it to 0, just for a nice simple fade. But I still feel like it's not smooth enough. So I'm going to press F9 and we're even going to tweak this to make sure it fades out nice, like it wasn't even there. So we will play it through now. Nice, simple, clean animation for your YouTube videos, for your Twitter, for whatever you want to use it for, even for your TikTok. No, I almost forgot to render it out for you. You're seeing this like I've just messed up and the video's just cut to this point before I even ran my outro. So for example, I ran the outro, I've got it all in, you'll see it in a bit, but I forgot to show you how to render it out in 2 easy steps as well. Okay, so the first way is really easy and simple. You've got your pre-composed layer. Basically you want to go to this little box up here, it basically makes a shape, and you generally just want to drag it over. Make sure you're covering the whole screen. Pull this underneath this layer. Easy as that. Render it out, file, add to render queue. But I would personally use Media Encoder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use Media Encoder to render stuff out. If you want to render it out through here, there is loads of videos based on render settings you can use for this, but I tend to use Media Encoder. Works better. Basically, it will pop up here. Mind all my edits that are here. Now, if you don't add the green screen, this is what you do. So basically, you go down to QuickTime. You go to preset and you use a Apple ProRes 444 with alpha. When you use this, basically what it will do is it will render it out transparently for you guys. But because I've got a green screen, it's obviously not going to render out transparently. But this is just saying if you don't put the green screen, this is what you want to render it out on, and make sure you click use maximum render quality. But if you don't want to do that and you want to use the green screen, easy method, go back to H.264, make sure it's in match source high bitrate, go down to maximum render depth and use that on both. You can. It doesn't really matter if you want to use CBR or VBR. The quality is going to be decent. It's a pop-up. It's not massive. There's not like a ton of pixels that go into this, so you'll be fine. And basically, all you want to do is click OK. Go here, pick a place for it to go, press save, done. Easy, simple. just like that. Now I'm gonna take you back to the outro. I hope you guys enjoy. If you don't want to go through all the kerfuffle of making all of this, nor even downloading the template, like I said before, there is a way that you can just purchase this for £2. I'll have it as one of like my pinned tweets talking about it. And yeah, guys, hope you've really enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if this goes on for too long. I have been rambling. I've not long just woken up and I didn't expect to be recording a tutorial, but I need to make sure you got this content out for you guys. So if you did like the video, join the Discord, like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.